And my dear friends, what I want to show you is epinucleus mode for nuclear fragment phacoemulsification to prevent the posterior capsular tear. No financial interest in this presentation. We are showing you two techniques, that is epinucleus mode phaco to reduce the incidence of posterior capsule tear and ultrasound chop to avoid the ultrasound energy reaching the posterior capsule. Epinucleus mode phaco was presented as a free paper at AACRS in 2004, San Diego, California, USA. The aim is to examine the incidence of posterior capsular tear during the emulsification of second half of the nucleus using higher and lower parameters of the flow rate, vacuum and ultrasound power. If you see in group 1, nucleus first half and the second half were taken with the higher parameters, that is a flow rate of 38, vacuum of 250 to 350 and ultrasound power 70 to 80. While in group 2, second half of the nucleus, first half of the nucleus was taken with the same parameters, but for the second epinucleus mode was used with the parameters were drastically reduced from 18, 120 to 30. This is the most important part, this is what we want to show. PC tear during the sculpting, cracking and irrigation aspiration is not considered in this study. Now, what happens whenever you are emulsifying the first half of the nucleus, the second half of the nucleus protects the posterior capsule. Mechanically, it pushes the posterior capsule back. That's why the surge is suppressed and you don't get posterior capsule coming up and getting break. Now, please see the parameters down. Now if you can see that first half is lying here and you can easily use the higher parameters. So whenever you are taking the first half, there is no risk to the posterior capsule, preferably when you are remaining into the center of the capsular axis. Now most of the parameters which are given by the company, which has mentioned in the book, are for the single tube. 99% in Indian scenario, single tube is not used. It is articulated repeatedly till the time it is broken. Now, repeated artic leaving reduces the lumen tenacity, which can give rise to more surge. Now, let's see here. When you are taking the second half of the nucleus, the posterior capsule starts moving up. Now, it is exposed to the higher parameters. And this is where we say that irrespective of the hardness of the nucleus, you can use the low parameters. That's where the surge will come into place. That's where you use the epinucleus mode or lower parameters. It can be used for any grade of cataract, grade 1 to 4. Please see the parameters again here now. Now if you can see here, the parameters are reduced drastically here and we are taking the nucleus. What doctor showed in the first cassette was the PC rupture during the second half of the nucleus. Now you see this is the hard cataract. Second half, irrespective of the hardness, with the same low parameters, you can emulsify the nucleus. This is the most important part, which we usually feel that if the nucleus is harder, it will not be emulsified. Individual smaller fragments of the nucleus, even if they are hard, they can be emulsified with the low vacuum and low power. Now results showed that almost 88% low rate in group 2, which is statistically significant. Now if you see that PC tear is concerned, during the phacoemulsification it ranges from 0 to 18%, during sculpting 33%, cracking 33%, during individual nucleus fragmentation 23%, while a hydrodissectation it is 2%. So in this study, the risk is reduced as far as the emulsification is concerned by almost 88%, quite significant. You can take an entire epinucleus mode you can use for a soft cataract, younger patient less than 30 years of age, or patient with a posterior polar cataract with the nucleus is soft. So don't go on to the higher parameters, start and end the case with the lower parameters. Now we show you the ultrasound chop. This was presented as a free paper in AACRS 2005, Washington DC, USA. Now this deals with the first half of the cataract when the nucleus is more harder. To avoid the ultrasound energy reaching the PC, because we cannot see many times because it's a blind procedure. To achieve the crack with the first entry and get the consistent result, many times you do try and chop, first the chops fails, it eats up the nucleus and you don't know what to do. So it keeps on taking the small chips. Now what is a conventional phaco chop? High flow rate is used, high vacuum is used and high ultrasound is used and you enter into the nucleus with ultrasound on, then you stop the ultrasound power, hold the nucleus with high vacuum and chop the nucleus only with the vacuum. Now we differ here. Now you hold the nucleus with the high flow rate vacuum as we have been doing in a conventional method, enter into the nucleus with the ultrasound, stop the ultrasound power, that is come to position 2, that is irrigation aspiration. Now vacuum reaches peak because you have got occlusion now. Now position your chopper for the chop and restart the ultrasound and just give a burst of ultrasound, it will automatically crack. Now cases excluded are exactly opposite to the first one. Soft nucleus, younger patient less than 30 and posterior polar cataract, because you don't want the ultrasound to go to the PC. Now if you see here in group 1 where is a conventional vacuum chop is used, the chop failure rate was 33%, while in group 2 where just a burst of ultrasound was used to crack the nucleus was 3%, which is statistically significant, p-value is 0. Now why ultrasound point? Because it is very easy to perform. Can be done very safely within CCC. We don't have to cross the capsulorhexis margin. Least chances of chop failure. So your even first chop will not get failed. Keeps the nucleus stable during the chop. There is no tumbling of the nucleus of the large pieces, especially last 2-3 pieces, they start tumbling inside the bag. Can be used for any cataract which is more than grade 2 and causes less manipulation and it's time saving. It can be used for any kind of method you employ, divide and conquer, stop and chop, Nagara chop, or any variable of chop you wish to use. Now see the parameters please. We are entering the nucleus now and restart the ultrasound. It gets divided. Enter the nucleus, vacuum reaches the peak and restart the ultrasound here. You just see the parameters, just a burst of ultrasound and it cracks. Most of the time you are not crossing the capsulorhexis, you don't have to take any risk. Again start the ultrasound and chop it. Now this you can do even with the inside to chop. What you saw was a horizontal chop, this is a vertical or inside to chop. Again burst of ultrasound is given, nucleus breaks. This is almost grade 4 plus cataract. Enter, use the ultrasound. So you don't have to go down till the nuclear plate. Even if you go 2/3, the nucleus will break. As you can see, while enter and give the burst of ultrasound, you don't have to go in. As you can see that the tip is getting embedded only 2/3, only 60 to 70%. You don't have to go beyond that. So this is going to protect your PC all throughout and make your surgery more persistent and predictable. This is again a hard cataract, but ultrasound burst will allow you not to reach the posterior capsule. So in conclusion, as far as the epinucleus mode is concerned, it is used for the second half of the cataract. It reduces the incidence of posterior capsule tear, reduces the use of ultrasound inside the eye, possibly less damage to the corneal endothelium because you are using a less ultrasound, may benefit both expert and novice surgeon. While ultrasound chop will reduce the energy reaching to the posterior capsule, you don't have to go to the near to the capsule, and achieve the consistent nucleus chopping with less chances of chop failure. Thank you.